Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Midweek War. I, of course, am Mad Mike, king of podcast style. With me, as always, is the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling, Eamon Payton. How are you, sir?
I am hyped in more ways than one for this week's NXT Midweek War.
That's right, y'all. Mojo Rawley won the NXT title.
Fucking hell. But hey.
But before we get to this week's NXT program that was on the network, we kind of have to talk about something. So if you are not on the internet, and judging by the fact that you are listening to this, you have been on the internet, this is an official spoiler alert.
Late breaking news.
Spoiler. We have a new NXT champion, and that man is Samoa Joe.
From the house show in Lowell, Massachusetts that happened tonight.
Holy shit snacks, Eamon. What does this mean for NXT?
Fuck if I know. No, it's cool because I mean Joe's amazing. Like I'm very happy that he won the title. I think it was cool to do it at a house show. I think it was different. It makes this week's episode very interesting because it makes it seem like they were also almost playing up to the fact that there was going to be a title change.
Yeah. Hey, this isn't my bad for the show because it didn't happen on the show. You couldn't have waited 2 fucking days?
Yeah, well.
Huh? Triple H? Whoever else is there? Huh? Couldn't have waited?
Albert, you couldn't have waited?
Albert, what the fuck, man? I love the hip-hop hippo. You couldn't have waited?
Jesus.
2 days. I'm going to see NXT in 2 days, y'all. I got my Shinsuke shirt. I got my American Alpha shirt. I am ready, and you do this shit right before? I mean, unless you're just going to give it back, unless we see a demon in Poughkeepsie, which, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to. If we see a demon in Poughkeepsie, we see a demon in Poughkeepsie. It's fine. But damn, on a Thursday? It's fine. This is what it sounds like when doves cry. That's fine. So anyway, about this week's episode, Eamon, what was your word?
My word for this week was sad, but for good reasons, not bad reasons.
Okay. All right. My word this week is farewell. Yeah. All right. So, Eamon, what's your good from NXT this week?
So now that we started off real sad, I'm going to pick it up jovially because my best was no way, Jose.
No way, Jose. No way, Jose. That theme song is the worst, catchiest shit ever.
I was going to say, it was a pretty good debut. He did pretty well. The crowd was into him, which I thought was really good. I saw, I read tweets before, because I watched it after Lucha Underground, so I kind of watched it before they first aired it. And I saw tweets of people saying, like, oh, he got a silent crowd reaction and all this stuff. And I was like, no, he didn't. Like, in fact, they were more quiet for the main event this week than they were this match.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's got an infectious kind of, character to him, I should say. He's very interesting. I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was fun.
What'd you think of his finish?
I think it's cool. I think it's different. I'd like to see him eventually adapt some stuff further on, which we've seen a lot with NXT guys. They'll start with something, but eventually adapt as they go further. But so far, I thought very promising. Like, obviously, I don't think he's going to be an NXT championship kind of material act, but as sort of a smaller act, he's, really nice because obviously you don't really have that in NXT. You have your tag division, you have your women's division, and then you have your heavyweights, and then a couple of people that aren't really heavyweight contenders. So it's good to have more of those kind of people, I guess. So you can do different things. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Like I said, He has a really great energy about him. We talked about it in the Lucha Underground podcast about people talking during their matches. I like that he was very talkative during the match, and it gets people into you. So,
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really fun. I hope he's not more than a theme song.
Yeah.
I think that's the big concern at this point. But I think he's gonna be okay.
I would love to see him cut a promo.
I think that's where like the make or break is gonna be.
Yeah.
All right. My good this week. Gotta go for that tag match.
Yeah.
American Alpha versus Enzo and Cass. A great send off for Enzo and Cass. A really, really great. I love the dichotomy of, because Jason Jordan and Big Cass are two of the best hot tags in wrestling right now.
Oh yeah.
And I love like Gable and Enzo kind of having a stalemate almost. Like there was one part where like they shoulder butt each other through the ropes. Really,
I love that.
Yeah.
They both go for shots on the apron, and then they both try to do shoulder blocks, but they both nail each other in the head. I thought that was super clever.
Yeah.
Jordan, and you said like Jordan and Cass are awesome hot tags. Jordan suplexes on Enzo were fucking incredible.
He launched him.
He flinged him and was like, I don't care where he lands.
Like if there wasn't a ring there, he would have ended up in Arkansas.
And the best part was he does the suplex or whatever on him. Straps come down, he gets hyped or whatever. Something happens.
That's when Cass dove in front of him.
Yeah. So he eventually gets to a point where he suplexes Enzo again, puts the straps back up, and then pulls them down again.
Yep. It's the vicious Kurt Angle and ECW move.
I love it so much.
It's perfect. Like honestly, I think if you could combine Jordan and Gable, you would get ECW Kurt Angle, which is my favorite version of Kurt Angle.
And obviously Gable's full of personality, but it's almost like Jordan's kind of bringing forth a bit more personality than Gable at times.
I think it's because he's getting more confident.
That's really.
I think he's always had it. He just was not in gimmicks that worked, and this one works.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Such a good match, and there was no interference, no Dash and Dawson coming out or anything like that. It was just a face-on-face match, sending off Enzo and Cass, and a clean victory. It was very well done.
Yeah.
All right. So, Eamon, what is your bad this week for NXT?
My bad goes to Elias Sampson, not for anything he did, but the fact that you gonna die, bro.
Oh, poor Elias. Shinsuke's gonna knee his guitar to hell.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Shinsuke's gonna make him look like I don't know. Did you see the stuff Shinsuke was tweeting about how he was a drifter too?
I saw that on the pontoon boat or whatever.
Yeah.
Shinsuke is really good at Twitter, you guys.
He's really great.
He's really he's not on Kevin Owens level yet, but he's getting there. He's pretty good.
But he's nice though about it.
He's incredibly nice about it.
He's like Kevin Owens if he wasn't a dickhead.
Fair. That's fair. I think even Owens would accept that compliment.
Yeah.
All right, my bad this week goes to the main event.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was kind of boring.
Oh,
I mean, I know it's very meticulous, and that's great, but sometimes those Joe meticulous matches, unless you're with a guy who can really get some hot fire real quick, like Finn Balor or Sami Zayn or someone like that, it doesn't work as well for me.
See, I can see the beginning being a bit boring. I love the finish. Cruz going for that power bomb that he does, Joe throwing him down, it transitioning into that slam out of the corner, and Cruz bouncing.
Oh yeah,
he literally was just like, I'm dead.
Yeah, I mean, the finish was great. It's just, it was a longer match. And I think even the crowd knew. And you know what? The crowd not being into it, not being loud, might have affected my enjoyment for the match.
Possibly, yeah.
Like I can see that being it too, but
it was a weird crowd.
Yeah.
I think because it's an Axxess crowd, and it's people that are at Axxess.
Yeah, like when that match was happening was probably when like AJ Styles was signing.
Yeah, I mean, there's people there.
Because I mean, have you been to an Axxess before, Eamon?
I haven't, but
okay.
I don't know. I just feel like people during that weekend, like it's very like I went to some indie shows that weekend where it was like people were doing really good stuff, but like it takes a bit for the crowd to kind of get into it because like once you reach a certain day in that weekend, you can get a bit tired.
Mm-hmm. Well, I went to Axxess when Mania was in Jersey, and the Axxess crowd is really weird because you can just go in and watch any NXT match you want.
Yeah,
but there were some people who sat there for hours and hours and hours and watched the whole thing. And some people just popped in for a match or two. Like I think that might have been because this also might have been like towards the end of the night, like when Axxess was getting ready to close, and that night was the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, this was post takeover, so it had to have been Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, so either people were getting ready to go to Mania or people were getting ready to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so
it might have just caught the tail end of the crowd, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel that's what happened personally, and because the wrestling was good, and for the last two shows they were pretty good, but there were points where the crowd was dead, and it was just because I think of the environment, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, most people probably already saw Shinsuke and Aries, and they're like, oh, okay, we can go.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to see the Jordan and Gable match, and then they bounced.
Mm.
All right, so what will be your change this week, Eamon?
My change for this week, I wish they would have, as much as we said the match was great, and I agree that it was great, I wish they would have given a little bit more time to Enzo Cass American Alpha. Just because it was it was on the verge of being short. Like, it had a commercial break. But like,
I would have liked to see a little bit more with Big Cass versus Jordan specifically.
Yeah. I feel like they honestly, and while it was her best match yet, I feel like they could have cut Nia Diana and given more time to them.
I don't know if I would have cut it completely because Nia Jax hasn't been a thing for a while. And
That's true.
We need to bring her back into the fold because Asuka's going to need someone else to fight because Bayley's
I was going to say, if they're doing something with Nia, then yeah, I understand it. I don't know. I just wish they would have devoted a bit more time to that tag match.
Like, honestly, you could have taken some out of Joe versus Corbin.
Or Cruz.
Cruz, yeah. And I would have been okay
yeah, and I'm trying to think of the other match. It was the Jose match. So, yeah. I think... Yeah, I just would have looked a little bit more time to that.
But you know what? It's almost better that they save some stuff because once American Alpha gets up, then you have a fresh new match.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because, like, we're going to see Vaudevillains versus Enzo and Cass, and they didn't really have a big run against each other on NXT. Because they're both faces for most of their time down there. All right. My change this week, the Bayley promo. I think they're trying to change Bayley's character, and I don't know if I'm okay with that.
Now, I heard some people say that some stuff like about that Bayley promo similar to that, and I didn't really understand what they were talking about. Like,
it just like we haven't really seen the Bayley back to. She's almost kind of reverted a little bit. Like, when she was getting ready for her match with Sasha, she was on a winning streak. She had beaten Charlotte, she had beaten Becky, and she was going in against Sasha, and she was confident.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've kind of almost gone back to, like, one loss, and Bayley immediately is going back to kind of ho-hum, I lost, you know.
I didn't get that sense.
I don't know. It just...
Maybe
it's because Bayley's been champion for so long and we've gotten positive, smiley, happy Bayley that it just feels different, but it feels different.
Especially with the promo, but especially with the promo last week, I felt like she was a case of like, I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep fighting and I'm going to get that belt back.
Yeah, but she didn't sound like she believed what she was saying. I think that's my problem.
I don't know. I felt it. Like I
Like it's almost like it sounds like she's coasting until she can get through this rematch, and then she'll be called up.
Who knows? Maybe, but
because I mean, honestly, do we really think she's going to stick around much longer after the rematch? I don't.
I don't know. I won't. Again, I don't know.
I would love it if she won it again, because that's something NXT doesn't do, is 2-time champions.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever really been a 2-time champion in NXT.
Not that I can think of. Like even tag.
The closest would be Adrian Neville as tag champion, but that's because he had 2 different partners doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I just
because usually you win the belt and you get called up.
Like I want to see Bayley be more confident, because she didn't tap out. She just happened to pass out. Like it's not like she submitted. She just lost consciousness to Asuka.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think, and you're not the only one to have said this about that promo, by the way. Because just to point that out, but I didn't get that sense. Like I didn't get the sense that she lacked confidence. I think she said Asuka's a tough competitor, and Eva is very tough as well. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, Asuka versus Eva next week.
Jesus Christ!
Fireworks factory!
It's gonna be great.
All red everywhere. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait for that match. That's gonna be great next week. I've been waiting for the Asuka Eva match for a while. Like ever since that Battle Royal where Asuka just pushed Eva out of the way with convention. I'm like, it's honestly kind of the best built feud in NXT right now.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right. So where did you rank NXT this week, Eamon?
I ranked it number 2. Overall, pretty good show. For the most part, I liked the main event, and the tag match was great, and I liked No Way Jose's debut, and Nia Jax did really well. She actually got hide on that leg drop for once, so hey. I really enjoyed this week.
Yeah, I also gave it number 2. Full disclosure, neither of us were able to watch Ring of Honor this week because Ring of Honor's website decided not to put up the most current episode, and we couldn't find it through less than legal methods. So there will be no Ring of Honor viewing this week. I mean, if we can watch it by Sunday, we can do something. But yeah, go figure.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to retract my Impact ranking. I'm going to say Ring of Honor is number 3 this week. Because I know one of the matches has Dalton Castle against Liger in a tag match, and I'm like, that's probably deserving of at least the number 3 spot.
Okay, we've now reached a new point in the show where Eamon does not have to watch a show for something to rank above Impact.
Sorry. Oh, and that's what it's the show Ishii wins the TV title, so that's fucking great. So yeah.
Oh, about time they showed that.
Yeah, well.
All right, but so Eamon, where can the people find you flip-flopping on the internet?
If you want to find my flip-floppy opinions, you can go to Twitter at AmonTPlease. You can also check out Inspire Pro Wrestling on Twitter at InspireProRes, and check out the event that we're holding this Sunday in Austin, Texas. That's Splendor in the Smash. You can go get more information and tickets on that at InspireProWrestling.com.
All right, and you can find me at MadMike4883 on the Twitter machine. Go to our Facebook page. Go to our Twitter page. Just Google the words Wrestling Mayhem Show and click everything you see. I guarantee it's all gold. All of it. I don't even know what comes up. Just put it in and tell Google I'm feeling lucky, and the first thing that comes up, it should be our lovely faces. All right, so for Eamon Payton. Oh, by the way, and I severely doubt this is going to be a thing, but if anyone watching this is going to NXT in Poughkeepsie this Saturday, and you see this handsome devil right here, I'll be the one wearing the American Alpha shirt. If you see me, you are allowed to chop me. Standard rules. And if you see Eamon at Ring of Honor, if he decides to go, you're allowed to chop him too.
That's fair.
Yes, Eamon agreed to it. Okay, so for Eamon Payton, I'm Mad Mike, and this has been your Midweek War!